to be honest, I kind of like the setup a little bit better. Recently I made the mistake of referring my YouTube channel to my social media platform, aka Instagram. And I don't think I really should have done that because I kind of don't care about a lot of people that are on there. Like, I mean, I care to some extent, but I don't care about them on a personal level, you know? And I feel like my vlogs or whatever, video journals, are really personal to me. And, it's just something that I want to keep a little special. And if you find these, then you find these. If you don't, then, they don't. Like, ultimately, these are really for me to look back on, even though I feel like maybe I won't look back on them, but maybe I will. I don't know. I really don't know. I just like using this because writing is like, it's okay, but just to have it like immortalized. I use that word a lot, but like immortalized on like this platform that we have is, I think it's pretty cool, because when I'm older I can look back on it and be like, oh wow, what the heck was she thinking, or what was she saying? Yeah, so I think I'm gonna make a conscious decision. I always overestimate or like overspeak, like you know what I'm saying? I always do that with myself, and I should probably stop. So now I'm making a conscious decision to delete social media, just because I feel like it's not that healthy or beneficial to me. Like a lot of the stuff that I'm interested in, I don't even get off from social media or like Instagram in general, because the only stuff that's on there really is like memes, like occasional interesting stories, cool, captivating photos from around the world. But like other than that, there's not a lot of things that I am interested in. Like I think I should just focus my time and like my energy on like the physical world and books that I could be reading instead of feed that I could be scrolling, So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I don't know how long. It's gonna be, okay, you guys gotta have, like, hold me accountable for this, or don't, but, I'm not gonna use it. I'm just not gonna use it for the whole year. For the whole year, till I'm 18, that's when I can hop on and be like, hey, I'm 18. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I spent like 20 minutes bawling on the floor in my living room, bawling because I failed my written test for my permit, my driver's permit. And I think mainly I was just like internalizing so harshly how my dad would react, or like what my dad would think, or like how my other family members would perceive me to be, like, because I already feel like they think that I'm a failure, or like I'm a burden or something, and like it would just prove them right if I couldn't even pass the driver's test that supposedly runs on like common sense, like the content was common sense based for me, because it was like pretty easy. Like with studying it, I was like, oh, okay, I got this. But came to it, I didn't pass. And like there were like some questions that were I couldn't like link to, the pamphlet or whatever it was. But I think it was just my fault, and it's just shouldn't sulk about it. But I kind of wanted to get into the topic of failure, because I feel like I have a lot of experience with failure and like not a lot of experience with growth. Because I actually, when I was bawling, I made a video of me crying and talking about like how it would be better if I just died, died. Like the second time that I like apply to get my driver's permit and I get it, like I would just drive the car off a cliff or something, you know? Because it would be like this ultimate thing, like it's pretty crazy. I don't know. I'm not thinking that anymore. I was emotional, you know, I was really distraught about it. But I think I'm okay now, and that's just because the life that we live now is just a stepping stone to something greater, and this small little thing doesn't really define me, or like, I think the main reason why I was hurting so much because, geez, I just wailed, you know when you just fail at something and you just revert to crying like a baby. Like when I was younger, I feel like I cried a good amount, and when I cried I like forgot to breathe, so I'd be like hyperventilating. That's how I was on the floor, and I'm pretty sure the neighbors could hear me because the window was open, and I was just like I was just so distraught about it. And I was just thinking about my dad, like him like constantly saying, how did you fail this? Like, and like, cause he's not gonna get completely mad or even like disappointed, but like, if you knew my dad, then you would know the tone of his voice when he said that. Or like it's just like a whole bunch of things that I kind of, like mushed up in my heart and in my brain, because I really wanted to pass it, and I was expecting to, because it wasn't that hard, but I didn't. So I'm gonna take it in Compton on the 12th. Wish me luck. That really was all on me, and like accountability for myself is something that I've never really took. Like I've always approached problems in a bad way. I feel like either I victimized myself or I dismissed it or called it destiny without actually really addressing the problem and trying to find solutions or actively like applying solutions to those problems, you know? I always feel like things are just gonna spread out evenly, like some sort of like natural equilibrium, like things will just be okay if I let them be. And it just hasn't worked out. I'm 17 now, and I've still been making the same mistakes. Like I'm not gonna like myself because I didn't study that much beforehand or prepare. Like of course I should do that, but yeah, it's just I was just feeling really down. It hasn't been that great at the house, not really at all. But besides that point, I was listening to a podcast, and I wish that I could get the exact like text that the guy was saying, but it was on Aristotle, and basically one of his philosophies, or one of his things, was that you are never the person of your past, and always just the person of your present. I'm making it sound so cliche, but it was really like, it was just like, wow, that's true, because in that sense you could never be dismissed or fearful of failure, because the one reason that I'm like scared of failure, or when it happens I just can't handle it, is because I always just like put in this conglomerate kind of thing of all my expectations of myself, or all the failures that I should have learned from, and I just haven't, and that's why I'm so shitty. Like I deserved it, or I don't know, it's just like this self-hatred based off past things. It's like if you had a bully and they just use your past experiences against you. That's kind of what I do to myself, and that's just what I've done. Like it's what I've been used to doing, like hating myself basically. But yeah, I kind of want to approach it in a different way now, and where like I actually take preventable measures when I do things, Sorry, my rabbit. what else? You know, I always have more to say, but I never get to say it because it just never comes out right when it comes out of my mouth. Like, it always sounds so good when it comes out in your head, you know, and then when you spew it out, it's like, that doesn't make sense. And I feel like part of that is because my communication skills are kind of bad. I mean, not as bad as others, but bad in my personal standards. They're not as good because, like, I've been, like, suppressed a lot by my family and just by my own internal fears and insecurities, you know? But I feel like today was monumental, but not in, like, a devastating way where things will never get better. It's a way for me to take today and to make my other days, my future days, better by acting now, you know? And that's why I'm making this video right now and not, like, stressing out about what I'm saying or how I'm saying it. I'm just making it, you know, and I'm gonna upload it. And that's what I'm gonna do. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say, I guess. Hopefully, wait, what's happening with the camera? Hopefully yeah, alright, okay.